Welcome to AstroVenture, the DSLR astrophotography channel.
Hey there, AstroVenturers, welcome back. If you're new to this astrophotography channel, this is the astrophotography channel for DSLR and mirrorless camera bodies combined with the lenses we already own and a simple star tracker like the SkyGuider Pro or the Star Adventurer. Well, this video is an update on Comet C 2022 E3 ZZTF. Quite a mouthful. Now, previously I did a video where I gave you a shooting window for the Comet along with the time, and we're going to go ahead and update this, and I've expanded out some information. We're going to get into some of the specifics. Now, right off the bat, I want to tell you, the Comet is developing nicely. It's getting brighter. Now, in doing some research, there does appear that some of the Comet that has broken off in some of the images, and I'm sorry I'm not showing them to you because I'm not scalping images from other people and not knowing who doesn't mind their images being shared and credited and who does mind. So in my research, I found that part of the Comet, it looks like, might have broke off from it, but it is riding, so to say, right beside the main body of the Comet, but it's staying together. Color's developing nicely. It's got a green coma. It's getting bright. The ion tail has been spotted. The ion tail, that is the ionized gases that come off of the Comet. And you can always see that because with the Comet 1, there will be like the feathered spray that comes out from the melt of the Comet, and then there will be the ionized gas that comes from the Comet. The ionized gas tail will be more of a straight line, and that line actually points directly towards the star that's melting in, or in our case, our sun. So we got good color, good brightness. We've got both tails being spotted, and although there seems to be a piece that might have broke off that's riding with it, all is looking good. As far as being able to see it, because that's always kind of a hit or miss thing, one of our viewers of the previous video that I did on this Comet goes by the name of Tube Hero. He commented that the Comet is now visible with binoculars. So that's awesome, because if you're seeing it with binoculars, that means it's easily going to show up on our cameras really well. So in this video, what I want to do is jump to my Stellarium screen, and I'm going to walk through and talk you through some proposed times and show you where the Comet is going to be located so that you can plan ahead. And feel free to pause the video and kind of get yourself orientated with the time, the location relative to the constellations on the screen so that you can plan for it. Myself, sadly, I'm not real optimistic at being able to capture it. I've been under clouds for 2 months straight now. I think I live up in Washington or Oregon at this point. And that's because we've had as the meteorologists call it, an upper level river passing over us, and it's keeping that moisture, hence the cloud cover, over top of us. I'm hoping and praying it moves off of us so we can get back to the normally clear skies that we have here in the desert. But let's go ahead and jump into Stellarium. Like I said, please pause it at any point, note down times, dates, and location relative to constellations. So here we go. Here we are in Stellarium, and first off, I want you to note, as I talk about these dates, I'm going to refer to this as the night of the 20th, but you'll notice that the date showing here by my cursor is the 21st. And the reason being is because I'm referring to the night of the 21st, the night of the 20th but it's going to go into the morning AM of the 21st, but you would go out on the night of the 20th. So here we go. On the night of the 20th, at 1:30 a.m., again, that would technically be the 21st, but you went out on the 20th. At 1:30 a.m., Comet, ZTF as I'll refer to it, is located right here. Notice for reference, you have Polaris, the Little Dipper, and then this is where it's at. Now, the reason why I selected this time of 1:30 in the morning, this has to do with the point at which, in my opinion, the comet has gotten high enough in the sky that it's out of the thicker atmosphere down here, so it's going to show up a little bit better, as well as, depending on how much light pollution you have to deal with, this lower, thicker atmosphere tends to catch more of that light. So at about this point, this is the minimal height in the night sky that I would start to shoot at. So this is the night of the 20th, and you're looking at 1:30 in the morning. Again, technically the 21st. Now, as far as the moon, non-player. Okay, let's move on to the night of the 21st. The night of the 21st. The moon, again, is going to be a non-player. Shooting time, I'm still going to stick with a 1:30 in the morning, technically the morning of the 22nd. And again, it hasn't moved a whole heck of a lot relative to the position of the Little Dipper here. Moving on to the night of the 22nd, you can see the comet is starting to jump up. On the night of the 22nd, which is going into the morning of the 23rd, I would actually recommend you could start photographing at 1 a.m. So the night of the 22nd, technically the 23rd, at 1 a.m., here you have, again, the minimal height in the night sky that the comet is just getting out of the thickness of the atmosphere. Moving on to the night of the 23rd, going into the morning of the 24th. The night of the 23rd, the moon is a non-factor again. And then as far as shooting time, I'm going to keep it at about 1 a.m. And again, it's moved a little bit higher. You could probably push this back a little bit, 12:45, but it's starting to get into some good positioning. Moving forward, the night of the 24th into the 25th. For here now, the comet is starting to accelerate in getting up in the atmosphere. And I'm now going to kick this shooting time. This is the night of the 24th going into the 25th. I'm going to actually kick this time back. Let's see here. I'm going to kick this time. Let me move this over. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm going to change this to a shooting time. There we go. And that's about the positioning I want. A shooting time, night of the 24th going into the 25th. You could start shooting on this one here at 11 o'clock in the evening of the 24th. It's a non-player going into the 25th at this point because it's starting to get higher. So the night of the 24th, 11 p.m., you're going to be in a good shooting position. Let's move into the 25th. And on the 25th, here is where you are going to want to shoot at 10:30. There we go. On the night of the 25th. Now, the moon comes into play, but shooting at 10:30 at night on the night of the 25th, the moon is going to be over there on the western horizon and going down. It's not going to be a player anymore with messing up the comet for you with how low it is. And depending on your specific geographic location, for myself, I have mountains on either side of me that kind of play with the times as to how much light messes with the atmosphere, and cutting off that angle a little bit. But about 10:30 at night on the night of the 25th, you should be good. Now, going on to the night of the 26th, we're going to start changing our times again, and we're going to move this to 11:45. Reason being is you're now having to contend with the moon staying up longer. You'll notice the position of the comet, though, is in a beautiful spot right off of the the Little Dipper here. Excellent spot. Moving forward into the night of the 27th, into the morning of the 28th. At that time, I'm going to suggest to you, I'm going to have to change this up a little bit. Let me see here. I am going to suggest to you that on the night of the 27th, going into the 28th, that you're going to want to shoot at 12:30 midnight, 30 minutes past midnight. Again, location is going to be excellent. It's going to be way up there. But the reason why we're shooting so late is because off to the west, we've got the moon lingering longer, so we've got to wait for it to get down. So makes for a little bit of a later night, but it does put the comet higher up in the sky. In my opinion, this is the night that is most ideal, in my opinion. Easy to locate, directly to the east of Polaris and directly above this corner of the Little Dipper. So it'll be real easy to locate. And then with being up at the height of Polaris in the night sky, you're going to be clear of all of that lower, thicker atmosphere. So in my opinion, this is the best night to shoot. Now, I'm going to try back on the 20th where it's lower, just because, like I said, I think I'm actually in Washington or Oregon at this point. So if I get a clear night, I'm going for it. But 27th into the 28th, this is the one that I most highly recommend. If that doesn't pan out for you on the night of the 28th going into the 29th, earliest shoot time, it's not going to be exactly ideal. 1 a.m. And as I move this, you can see where it's located. Again, we're messing around with the moon. Realistically, though, if you don't mind spending the time, I would suggest waiting until 1:30 in the morning. Positioning works beautiful, triangulating off the corner of the Little Dipper and off of the star Polaris. So you got a nice triangulation going on. Again, it's up there higher in the sky, and it gives it more time for the moon to get down over the horizon and be less of a factor. So those are the shooting times for each date, as I would suggest. But the best one, in my opinion, the night of the 27th, going into the 28th, just past midnight by about 30 minutes, is going to be, in my opinion, the best one to shoot at that time. There you have it. Those are my suggested dates and times for trying to capture this Comet C 2022 E3 ZTF. And I would love to see what you, our viewers, are able to capture, as well as what your equipment was. And to do that, I would like to invite you over to our Facebook group, AstroVenture DSLR. And it's a great community, sharing work, helping each other to learn. But I would love to see what you are able to capture off of this comet, because, as I said, I'm not feeling really hopeful here in Utah. But who knows? It's a few weeks away. And so, before I let you go, if you like this video and the content that we're doing here, please consider liking the video, subscribing, ringing the bell, and sharing the video out so that it grows. And until next time, I wish you clear skies, uneventful nights, and I wish you the best in hunting down this comet. It sounds very promising, and thank you to Tube Hero for sharing his observation with the binoculars.